Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have all of your Tesla stock breaking news today, including option flows and what big money is saying. We also have your other news for broader markets, in which things are getting crazy out there. Several top Democrats privately tell us the rising pressure of party congressional leaders and close friends will persuade President Biden to decide to drop out of the presidential race as soon as this weekend. This, my friends, could be a gray swan event. We'll talk about this a little bit more in depth in the next video, but this would be bad news for markets because it would really create more uncertainty. This is being reported to us from Axios, and it's causing this intraday volatility. Now, at the time of recording this video, Tesla stock is up over 1%, so Tesla is still having a good day. And let's start off with some of your Tesla stock breaking news today. Elon Musk confirms that the Cybertruck will get FSD when we get release of 12.5, which also finally merges the city and highway code. This is big news because, as I said months ago, these individuals with the early reservations for the Cybertruck likely have a much higher take rate than what we typically see for any random person buying a Tesla. For the first 20,000 or so Cybertrucks that we have delivered, a little bit more, a little bit less, we don't get the actual breakdown of this, the take rate's probably closer to like 50%. So let's just ballpark 30,000 Cybertrucks. Let's assume that's how much that we have delivered so far over at Tesla. Times this by 50% or divide it by 2, and you're going to get 15,000 potential FSD subscriptions. Now, whether you look at monthly subscriptions or the outright price, it's going to vary and there's going to be a combination. But just assuming individuals go for the subscription, that would add $99 a month. That's $1.5 million a month times 12. And that's about $18 million. Doesn't sound like a lot if you look at just the subscription numbers, but that's pure bottom line profits, about 90% margins. If you consider individuals that are buying FSD outright, consider that same 15,000 Cybertrucks potentially getting FSD times by $8,000 if they purchased it outright. That's $120 million. Times that by, let's say, 0.90 for 90% margins, that's $108 million to bottom line profitability. That makes a difference. Quite a large difference. And that's why this is incrementally positive news for Tesla stock. Now, as I'm sure you know, everyone's looking forward to Tesla's earnings coming out next week. And in a little bit of good news, we had TSMC that reported earnings this morning. They gave us really good numbers. So the AI trade is still intact. Now, it's not just the AI trade necessarily that affects Tesla. We know Tesla has not seen any love from the AI trade so far. And that's why Wall Street is really messing up here, because Tesla will be seen as the #1 AI stock in the world. Just give it a couple of months. That will happen, and it will propel Tesla past new all-time highs well into the 500, 600, 700, 800. Wouldn't be surprised if we hit $1,000 next year once Wall Street really figures this out. But it's setting the tone for earnings. TSMC does good. Let's assume Netflix does good today and after hours. And we're going to be heading into next week pretty optimistic, even more optimistic about Tesla. Now, really the biggest thing that you need to know specifically with Tesla earnings, yes, we'll talk about this more over this weekend, but if we get the next gen vehicles revealed to us, that is a massive positive for Tesla stock on Tesla earnings. Now, I think we've fully priced in a good earnings. So I think without those new models being released to us, or new details, new clarity, new timelines, then don't be surprised if Tesla stock falls on Tesla earnings. Again, we've priced in that good news, but I think we're going to get some new products unveiled. That's just my speculation. At least if Tesla and Elon Musk want to keep the hype train going at Tesla, they know exactly what they need to do. Now, with that said, it's being reported that Tesla sold more Cybertrucks in May 2024 than the Ford F-150 Lightning and Rivian R1T combined, despite being an over $100,000 truck. The Tesla Cybertruck sold 3,907 units. The Ford F-150 Lightning and Rivian R1T combined sold 3,590. The Cybertruck is the best-selling EV pickup truck and most American-made full-sized pickup truck. Tesla and Intersect Power today announced a contract for 15.3 gigawatt hours of Megapacks through 2030, worth over $3 billion. 10 gigawatt hours of Megapacks are expected to be deployed by the end of 2027. So we are really continuing to see Tesla's energy generation and storage business accelerate. And I think that has been a main component of a lot of this rally. It was those energy numbers that really shocked Wall Street. Ford on Thursday outlined plans to use a Canadian plant it had earmarked for a future electric vehicle plant to instead build larger gasoline-powered versions of its flagship F-Series pickup truck. And FYI, this Intersect Power contract is the largest Megapack contract Tesla has ever received. So yeah, this is big news today. And again, I just want to reiterate what Elon Musk said on X yesterday. In response to Alex that says Tesla should be viewed mainly as a real-world AI company, Elon Musk responds and says, yes. I want to be very crystal clear about this. Right now, the attention is on GPUs, the enablers of AI. What do you think is going to happen in due time? Could be a month, could be a year. I doubt it takes longer than a year, though. What do you think is going to happen? Tesla will be seen as the #1 AI stock in the world. It will get the most attention, the most investment, because who's solving a bigger problem than Tesla with AI? Wall Street wants to get excited about chatbots that let you cheat on your homework, that help you find an answer to a problem quicker, but not pay attention to the company that is going to save 50,000 lives a year in America, that's going to free up 10 to 20 hours a week of your time in the vehicle. I mean, these are simple things. And if you believe AI is not a bubble, it's here to stay, the only logical conclusion is Tesla will have its moment. Tesla's Nvidia moment, in terms of the stock, is coming soon. And I mean, talk is cheap, so I'll show you my position here. With a market value of about $22,000, currently up about 31%, about $5,200 in this portfolio. This is the portfolio I have been adding to in the last 12 months of Tesla. I have the legacy portfolio that I was buying Tesla in 2020. I don't think that matters too much now, because if you're bullish on Tesla now, show me you're buying Tesla now. Right? I think that's a lot more impactful than if you bought Tesla on a, split adjusted basis at $40 or $50 or $60 or $70. The average cost in this portfolio is $194. Currently have 86.25 shares. Portfolio diversity of 36.5%. It was about 45%. The rest of the portfolio has started doing well, and a lot of trades have started doing well. Also, some big winners like Domino's this morning, like Vertiv the last couple of days, some SPY puts that have done well. If you guys want to come join the trading community, check that out, link down below in the description of this video. Have $13,000 in buying power in cash available that I will be deploying in Tesla at some point. With that said, Tesla's stock is now accelerating to the upside. As the markets fall, Tesla stock is now up over 2.5% as the S&P is dropping as we currently speak. I think that just shows you how much strength Tesla has right now. I mean, beyond everything else. Now, this article from ACI Information Group says Tesla's Q2 earnings preview a 30% drop in EPS is likely for the EV giant amid strategic challenges. They go on to say that Tesla is projected to report earnings per share EPS of 62 cents for Q2 2024, a notable decline of 91 cents in the same period last year. This represents a more than 30% drop in EPS, reflecting increasing costs related to restructuring and research and development. Net income is expected to be $1.73 billion, down from $2.7 billion in 2023. These figures underscore the financial strain Tesla faces amid efforts to innovate and expand its product offerings. Despite the decline in earnings, Tesla's revenue is expected to rise slightly by 0.8% year over year to $25.1 billion. I actually think there's a lot of room for an upside surprise here, especially if we consider FSD and what that take rate could now be, especially if people paid for that upfront, that $8,000 upfront cost. You could add a lot more to profitability than I think Wall Street is expecting. I still think expectations are relatively low for Tesla. In the first quarter of 2024, Tesla's gross margins more than halved to 5.5%, down from 11.5% in the same period in 2023. And I think that's another area that could see a welcomed improvement. Perhaps 7%, 8% gross margins could make sense. Now, reflecting these low expectations and this pessimism still around Tesla stock, which if you're pessimistic on Tesla at this point, you just need slapped in the face, because what are you doing with yourself? You do have short interest of free flow at 3.79%. That's down from about 3.84%. So a little bit of a decline here. Some shorts on around the edges starting to cover, but I don't think shorts really start to cover until the robotaxi event, until Tesla's soaring into the 300s. That's when you actually get the short squeeze. I know a lot of Wall Street has said Tesla's going through a short squeeze. They're not. It's just not reflected in the data. That's not what's happening. It's big money getting back positioned, allocated to Tesla, because they're starting to realize Tesla will have its NVIDIA moment. Nonetheless, you do have about $27 billion currently sold short in Tesla stock, and that is about 105.17 million shares that are currently sold short. On net today, you have borrowed shares of 410,000, return shares 441,000, so you have about 32,000 shares that are on net being covered today, which 32,000 shares being covered, I would say, is far from a short squeeze that is the reason Tesla stock is going higher. Sentiment for Tesla over on StockTwits is bullish at 63 today. Yesterday, it was also bullish at 63. Message volume today is normal at 45. Yesterday, it was normal at 48. And the participation ratio today is normal at 54. We have a new AI investor sentiment survey that is coming out showing the bulls firmly back in control. Bullish investors at 52.7%, neutral investors at 23.8%, and bearish investors at 23.4%. Option activity from big money today in Tesla stock is pretty negative, actually. Now, you've only seen 5 institutional unusual trades totaling $1.76 million with a positive order value of 19%. Now, take a look here at some of these specific trades. This one, December 18th, 2026, 540 call worth $628,000. Or this one, little more near term, October 18th, 330 call worth $151,000. If you actually look at the trades coming through, they are very much skewed towards a much larger rally to come. Google Trends data today shows the Cybertruck at 56, the Model Y at 23, the Model 3 at 22, the Model S at 10, and the Model X at 8. Google Trends data for full self-driving is coming in at 17, which is basically back in line with where you were before the free trial started. Markets are firmly pricing in the first cut September 18th with a 93.0% chance. There's a 5.1% chance of a double rate cut by September, or perhaps a rate cut July and then a rate cut in September. Either way, 2 rate cuts by September is priced in at about 5%, and no rate cut by December is priced at about 1.9%. That is really following Fed Goolsby's comments today. Fed Goolsby said the inflation fight is not done, but I feel a lot better. He says the cooling job market is definitely an area of concern. Speaking of that, we did have a new spike in continuing jobless claims and initial jobless claims. Initial jobless claims coming in at 243,000. The forecast was 225,000. That was a pretty high number, and now the highest number you've seen in almost a year? And Fed Goolsbee said today in real rate terms, we have tightened substantially. And you know, I gotta say, I'm actually very impressed with Tesla, because at the time of recording this video, the S&P is down about 0.5%, and Tesla stock is up almost 2% today. Tesla is showing a real true outperformance, some strong momentum, and this is exciting. The Atlanta Fed GDP Now tracker is estimating about 2.7% GDP for Q2. That is up from about 1.5% that we were at in early July. And as I have said before, the biggest thing that could really hurt Tesla is the economy or the labor market weakening, especially at a rapid rate. And we did get a little bit of bad news on that front today. So albeit considering that Tesla's still doing very well, I'll take it. That is a risk we do need to watch out for over the next coming months, as well as this risk of a gray swan event that we will talk about a little bit more in depth in the next video. Nonetheless, if we just go ahead and plot some lines here on this chart for Tesla, I think this is valuable because Tesla tends to follow technicals like to a T, like perfectly follows the technicals. You really don't see any other stock like Tesla that just follows technicals so precise. You are forming a bull flag pattern. You have formed a bull flag pattern. What typically happens is you break to the upside and you know, break a new high for the cycle. Very clear bull flag pattern. And this is another bullish sign, perhaps why Tesla may be outperforming today. And good news is, if you take a look at the RSI following the fall we've seen from 271, this consolidation around the 250s now, you have an RSI of 67.85. So there's definitely a lot of room on a relative strength basis to send Tesla stock up even closer to the 300s before we are back to the same levels of overbought that we were previously at. And if you take a look at the MACD is still positive, not yet going under the signal line. MACD line at 18.69, signal line at 17.94. TLT today is down 0.22%. It's been very volatile though. And oil is down about 0.25%. The dollar is up marginally today. So let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. I would love your thoughts on this. Why do you think Tesla is outperforming the way that it is, even though you're seeing this broader market volatility? Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys want to come be a part of the trading community. Check out that link down below in the description of this video. Not a guarantee you're going to make money, but we have sure hit a lot of big trades recently. So come join that if you would like to, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. I mean, enjoy it, truly enjoy it. Get yourself some Tesla tequila, take a shot of that. Whatever you want to do, get some coffee. You know, relax with the kiddos. He's over there eating applesauce, watching Miss Rachel. I think I memorized all Miss Rachel's songs by now. Topic for another video, I know. Nonetheless, point is, you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.